Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel where I'd like to share any and all things that bring me joy, hence the name Sharelation. Today's video, I wanted to feature this beautiful bag that I found while I was traveling in Japan. In Japan, many of you probably know there are a lot of pre-owned luxury boutiques that sell pre-owned or pre-loved goods, bags, shoes, clothes, jewelry, and this was one of my first finds out of many. I do plan to show all of the bags that I've purchased in Japan in a separate video one day. I will probably do it one by one just to give a thorough description of it and my experience buying it. So I found this beauty in one of those pre-owned luxury boutiques. This is a Chanel bag. This is a vintage piece. When I show the insides and interiors, I'll explain a little bit more. But essentially, this one is dated between 1989 and 1991. Based on the serial number, inside it is a 7-digit serial number printed on a white sticker with, of course, the Chanel logos, and there's an opaque film that covers the sticker. So based on the research I've done, this is a very well-loved luxury vintage piece by Chanel. So I'll just take you through this. This is like a camera style bag, which comes with 2 chains on the side. They are not adjustable, so you can see here that they're attached to the bag like this. And when this part is kind of laid down, you'll see it's printed Chanel. But when you're carrying it, you actually see the other side of it, which doesn't have any logo or name on it. This should be 24 karat plated given the age of the bag, but I'm not 100% sure. So this, the chain is like so, and the opposite side is the same. On both sides of the bag is one feature that I love about the bag is there's a very generous pocket that you can fit your wallet, your phone, really a lot of things on the outer pockets, and they're both the same size on both sides, which is really the width of the bag. I will provide measurements in my description down below, so you can take a look if you're interested. Now, the chains, as I said, is not adjustable, but I found that they were very long. So what I did was a very somewhat creative hack where I took some black string. I probably need to cut off the little fringes here, but I was just testing it out. This leather piece is movable, cannot be removed, but it can slide back and forth the chain. So what I did was I took the chain and pretty much looped it like this, and the other side I looped it like that. And I tied the ends with a black string to shorten the strap, so it won't be so long when I'm carrying it. I'm not a very tall person, so when I carry this with its true length, it goes quite low down on me. I'm only about 5'4", and I found that it was a little hard to manage. I mean, it's still usable, but I wanted it shorter, and I didn't want to, of course, cut the strap. I didn't have any other way to shorten it but do it this way. So it does sort of work, but I do always have to fidget with it a little bit when I'm carrying the bag on my shoulder, because I need the leather piece on my shoulder and the chain on top. So it does sometimes roll back and forth, but I managed through it, and because I didn't really want to alter the bag, so this was the only way I could think of. If you have any ideas to shorten the strap without truly shortening it, let me know in the comments below. I know there are these chain shorteners that people use on their wallet on chains, but because of the way this bag is constructed or designed, I wouldn't be able to really shorten it without it looking funny. Like if I put like the shortener like this, I may have a little loop like that, which I suppose can be somewhat of like a decoration, but I don't know if that will look weird, and I would have to buy 4 different shorteners. So this is my solution for now. If you have any ideas, please let me know down below. Okay, so let's take a look at the inside of the bag. So this is just a zippered closed closure, and it has a very special tie, like a tab to pull the zipper open. It's a very smooth zipper that opens like so. So this is lambskin. A lot of people have done a lot of reviews or talked about it in their videos about vintage lambskin, and I can truly attest. Of course, it's hard to show on camera. It is very buttery smooth. Given the age of the bag, I think it's held up beautifully. You don't really see any major scuffs or anything like that. I mean, you do see some scuffs because it's been used, and given the age, of course, you expect it, but it really has held up so beautifully. I don't know even how to explain it better. I mean, you can see there are some dents and things like that, but overall, the lambskin has held up very well. I don't worry too much about scratching this because I have probably scratched it once before. Like if you see this piece, this quilt over here, there's like a little bit of a mark here. Could have been done by me. It could have been like that when I got it, but overall, like if you sort of buff it out with your finger, it really does sort of restore it a little bit. Not, of course, to its original pristine, like when it was new, but the leather is really soft and subtle, and I personally feel quite durable compared to the lambskin bags today. I previously had a Chanel mini in lambskin. It was in a beautiful navy blue color. Unfortunately, I sold it because I feel like anytime I touched it, or even if my nail happened to graze across it, it left a mark, and I was able to buff it out, but I was just so afraid to use the bag that I decided to sell it. But that was actually one of my top regrets, because now, fast forward a couple of years and all the price increases, that Chanel mini is worth way more than what I paid for it, but I wouldn't have used it. So I really want to keep things in my collection that I use. And so that it's a regret from the standpoint of how the bag is now inflated so much, but I don't regret selling it because I was just really too afraid to use it. But if I had that bag, it would have been great to do a comparison with that lambskin and this lambskin. It's just so smooth and quite durable. And I really feel it. There's a huge difference with the age of the lambskin from back then in the late 80s, early 90s versus now. So let's look at the bag inside. So inside is just really one big compartment where you can store all, like literally anything that you need. It can even fit a water bottle or even a mini iPad. It's very roomy and spacious. It has the very beautiful burgundy leather lining. It's fully lined in leather. And it has just this compartment here. Actually, this is an envelope that's detachable, and it does actually go on this side of the bag instead, because the snap closure snaps to that snap button. So technically it's like that. So we have one zippered compartment, again very roomy. This part is fabric lined. Okay, and then here you have another pocket, and this is leather lined. Here you see the Chanel logo right there. And if I flip the bag to the other side, this is where the detachable envelope lives, and you can take it out to use. This is a very roomy pouch as well, and I like to use this separately in my bags. I'll show you what fits in this in a second. So this piece is made in France, and another generous inner pocket here, also fully leather lined. It's hard to show the serial number, but I will try, as it's worth showing. Oh, this also has a very nice little detailed pull. You can see that the sticker or the serial number is fully intact. It's right here. It is 7 digits. It's going to be hard to show because it's a little fuzzy. The numbers are still there. I can definitely make out the numbers, and I do have the matching authenticity card to match with this, but it shows the older looking serial number like I described before. Okay, so the bag itself is pretty light in weight. It's just the chains that are a little bit heavier. And here is that pouch, also in the beautiful lambskin. It's very simple. The quilts on this are not puffy. I don't know if it was originally puffy. The puffiness of the quilts here is still okay. It's not super puffy, but it's not completely flat and deflated. You can still feel a little bit the puffiness, but given the age, I wouldn't expect it to be very, very puffy like the new bags today. So just to show you this envelope here, it is leather lined as well. There's a bit of the leather that came off, but because of the age, I expected that. Just to give you a reference of size, this is a $20 bill. It fits very comfortably inside the envelope that you can put cash in, and there is room to spare. But because it's so flat, you would really just put like cash or cards in it, just so it doesn't bulk up too much, but there is room for it to grow in width. Okay, so I'll put this back in. And just to do a quick size comparison, because I know not many people have this vintage piece, I brought my recent Fashion File find out, which is my single flat jumbo, just to do a quick size comparison. Okay, so here is the jumbo in the silver hardware, comparing this with my vintage camera bag. So let me just pop the straps in here because I want to show you the size comparing these two. So the jumbo, I believe, is bigger. Okay, let's do it like this. So from the height perspective, it is almost the same. This one is slightly taller. It's kind of hard to show, but it's slightly taller, but almost the same. Okay, so height-wise, it's comparable. But because this has a zipper and you can sort of press it down a little bit, it is easier to get in and out of because there's no flap. In terms of the width here, or the depth of the bag, the Chanel Jumbo kind of tapers up a little bit, but this one is more of the same size up and down. So if I lift it up like that, you'll see this one is a little bit slimmer on the base compared to the Jumbo, but also very similar in size. Okay, now if we look at it like side by side like this, the width is similar. I would say maybe the Jumbo is a little bit wider, just a hair, not too much, but you can see from this angle like this that it is a little bit wider, and this does look a little bit shorter, but overall the size is pretty much the same, but it's just a different way of using the bag, you know, because this is the camera style with the zipper, and going in and out of it is a little bit easier, but some people may like the flat more. So we'll just compare it like this. Now in terms of the thickness, actually, let me move the chains to the side. In terms of the thickness, actually, because the base of the Jumbo is a little bit bigger, you can see that the Jumbo is overall bigger. I would say this is probably maybe comparable to the medium large, although I don't have one. I'm just guessing. But here you'll see this is the bottom of the bag, so it's maybe like half an inch thicker or wider in terms of the base. So hopefully that helps. I should actually bring my scale out to weigh these two just to give you a comparison in terms of the weight, but I'll probably do that together with a third Chanel bag that I have that I love to compare these two with, because that's also similar in size, and that's also a special piece. So stay tuned for that video. And that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about this beauty, please let me know. I'll try to answer it and give you more information. Thanks, and have a great day.